Virgo loves, how are you doing? I'm Leona Nicole Black. Thank you for choosing to spend some time with me for your July 2018 general tarot reading. It's my pleasure to be back with you. Thank you so much for all the love you show me, for the likes, the shares, the subscribes. I know my Virgo squad is mad strong. I'm Virgo's sun and moon myself, so I kind of get a sense of why you guys resonate with me. I've pulled your cards and you're the third reading I'm doing today. I've actually had some fruit, some energy so I can get through your reading. Cancer was really rough, Taurus flowed really well, and your messages are clear but they feel very specific. And when I'm doing the reading, I'm aware that it's for the collective energy, so I'm always trying to be open to as many scenarios as possible, but I have to be honest, this month's reading feels like it's for a specific group of Virgos, and I have to just honor that and give you the message that's for you and not try to tailor it to everybody. So I feel like this is really for, I would say definitely for people who are on like a divine love path. So if you are on a path of spiritual growth and seeking a soul connection, a soul partner, someone, who resonates deeply with you, and this message is likely for you. And other people, if this speaks to your purpose more generally, then this could relate to you also. But it isn't just for every Virgo out there who's worried about things that Virgos are typically worried about, okay? This does feel like a very specific message. So I'm just putting it out there. If it resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, I hope you find a great reader for you this month. Okay, Virgo. Pulled two cards for you to begin with, looking at what's your energy this month, how are you showing up in the world, how are you projecting yourself. Heads up that I have the window open and it's a very noisy road out there, so you may have to try and listen to me over the traffic. I will amplify and do a noise reduction on the sound, and hopefully that will be okay. So you've got two cards speaking to how you're showing up this month, and they are two knights. Actually, I only just noticed that. Two knight cards. Interesting. You've got the Knight of Pentacles in reverse with the Knight of Cups upright. The knights are feeling in this reading for me like expansion. Obviously they relate to kind of movement. The pages are messengers, but the knights feel like the energies of transformation. Like when the message of the conversation is had, now the actions, it's time to take action on something to develop it to the next stage. That's what the knight energy is feeling like to me. Now, Knight of Pentacles says to me, Virgo, that you are stalling on a plan. You're stalling on a plan of some kind. Now, this can be emotional in nature, and I'll talk about that. Others of you, it's creative, it's career, it's purpose. So you've got ideas, visions, things that you want to do, and you are stuck, stalling. And you're stalling in, this is Taurus energy to me, and you're stalling in the planning stage, or the ideas, or the execution. I think in some ways what it is you want to do, but I know I'm feeling this energy, just this kind of like this stuck moment when it comes to actually laying tire to ground, tread to tire, whatever the saying is, I don't know. But when it comes to taking action, this is where you're a little paralyzed, Virgo paralysis, over analysis, stress, not knowing really how to take what's inside, external, with a lot of fear here. Now, some of you, this is creative. Others of you, it's actually emotional, because I pulled a clarifier on this card, and you got the Six of Cups, the pleasure card here. So yeah, it's taking pleasure in your dreams, your ambitions, your work. You're struggling to get to the pleasurable bit. But for others of you, this is about, the Six of Cups here is the deeper connection. Interesting, you've got it later in your reading, so it's a duplicate message. And this does speak to the soul connection. It speaks to the soul partnerships, the soulmate relationship, twin flame, whatever you want to call it. But just something, sorry, my face is loyalty. Something that is about more than you, as in like it's a relationship that is purposeful, and that is more than about like, let's kick it, let's be in love, let's make love. You know what I mean? It's like as a kind of relationship that wakes you up to your soul self and sets you on a journey individually and together, that is about contributing whatever it is your soul wants to execute in this world. And I feel Virgo is desiring this. If you haven't met this person already, you're desiring this connection. And if you have, you're desiring the fruition of the connection, because I think for a lot of you this has not come into being yet, as in there are reasons you're apart right now when you want to be together. And so this can be the stalling energy. It can be that you're feeling the stalling. Now, because of this, in whatever context, you've got the Knight of Cups. And so some Virgos, it's that you can't move forward creatively, and it's making you want the love more. You know, you're like, I don't want to do any more work. I just want to cuddle. I want love. I want connection. I want this other side of things. Like, why am I always grafting? Why can't I have the other things? You're moving out, kind of putting yourself out there, kind of being in the mix a bit, emotionally, sexually, whatever. And then for others of you, it's the stalling energy over the partnership that you're really wanting, the deeper partnership, the connection energy that's making you do this, which is either try to advance towards this person with more love. You know, this is very interesting because I feel like it's moving towards this person with more love, hoping that if you love them more, they will show up for you with readiness to receive and give. Doesn't work. If the person isn't able to be in the connection in the ways that you want now, then they're not, and they have to go through whatever growth cycle is required for them to do that. They won't purely do their growth or do the soul evolution necessary just because you want them to. It doesn't work like that. And so no matter how much love you pour, it isn't the trigger point for getting the change that you want. And, you know, for some of you, it isn't a person that you know yet, and so you're desiring it so deeply that you're almost trying to push that energy by putting yourself out there more. But ultimately, Virgo, there is an area of your life that feels stuck, and your approach to it is to try and romance the rest of your life forward, like push the romance element together. So, context. Chariot in reverse, a complete clarifier on that. Like, this will be the higher energy. Spiritually, there is no forward movement right now. There is no ability to charge forward in the direction of your dreams. Do you know what, Virgo? I think it's your reading, either you or Libra, that I tend to get a little distracted. But this beautiful plant, and she just keeps catching my eye as I'm talking to you, so I just wanted to show her. She's one of my new plant babies. All the plant will know I've got several more that you can't see right now, including one in the back corner over there, but I have a few plant babies with me, and I think she wants to be in your reading, so I'm just going to set her down here and you can help me. Okay, now she's in front of the mic. Hopefully that won't mess with the sound. Let me readjust. There we go. Mama loves you. Okay, so back to your reading. Green nails to match. Okay, so spiritually, there is a hold up of some kind. There is a stoplight. There isn't the ability to charge. Sirens. There isn't the ability to charge forward and just move in all the directions that you really want to right now. And so you are having to... This is a kind of obstacle you just can't overcome. There's no knocking on that door. There's no kicking down that door. There's nothing that you can do to push this forward. It is more of a surrender moment. And the next card that you have as a context for what's going on, with a whole bunch of clarifiers, is the Three of Swords. Now, I saw this and I was like, oh, Virgo, ouch. Now, what I'm feeling from this card, Virgo, is that this is pain about things not moving forward. It's not purely like a third-party situation, infidelity, cheating, heartbreak. In that way, it can be, but I feel in this reading that it's the pain that you're feeling around not being able to move forward around matters of the heart, as in this, the fruition, the connection, things that you're seeking just not fully coming into being for you. And I pulled clarifiers and I'll show you what you get. Two of Cups. Okay, so this is the first message to say this is about love for you. This is about that divine connection. This is about mutual, it is unconditional love, but not even unconditional. Reciprocal is the word I want to use. Love that is reciprocated, that is, you know, the person's given as much energy as you are, because the next card is the Three of Cups. So it's like there is a foundation of like mutual love, and it builds, because the Three of Cups here is Moon and Cancer. So this is deep emotional sharing. Oh, not Moon, sorry, Mercury and Cancer. communicating the feelings, emotional bonding, sharing. This card is abundant, so it's like the love flows in it and it creates more and more and more. And then there's the Devil card, which is the stuck energy, which is the stagnation, which is where you feel trapped, right? So this is the things you want and you're not getting to them, and it's causing you pain, frustration, power struggles internally. Because the next card is the Six of Cups in reverse. Now, you had Six of Cups in the very beginning, and here it is saying something is not coming together externally. What I'm feeling from this card is that there is a connection that is true, that is pure, the love is real, the bond is there, it is. Whether it's with a person that you already know have not met yet, like spiritually this exists for you. In reverse, it is not manifested, not materialized into the kind of connection that you're wanting. Hence also the Knight of Pentacles in reverse cannot take action. It's not in the physical realm in the ways that you want right now. And it's difficult for you, Virgo, but the clarifier I got was the Queen of Wands, and a beautiful card. The Queen of Wands is also saying that you are still taking your power. You are still finding your power. You're still healing from a difficult past, and you're still learning the limits and the boundaries of your strength, and you're still teaching people. You're still... This is fire energy, so what is alive inside, what's been changed internally, the healing process that you've gone through is still reaching its apex. You're still coming through that. And, you know, your energy is Seven of Pentacles, like I'm so overweighting, I'm so over investing, I'm so over giving, and then keep being told it's like it's happening, have faith, do you know what I mean? And it's constantly like watching season, and you may even feel, Virgo, like you're watching other people get the things that you're wanting, and you're like, what about me? When's it my turn? When do I get to participate in the things that I've been investing all my effort and my energy? And you're watching this thing, and yeah, there's a, you know, the seven for me is spiritual testing as well. And you know that there's something of value here, but you're like, you can't pluck it yet. It's not ready. Well, the clarifier is the sun, which is energy is being given to this thing to grow. It is still under the light of the sun. It is expanding. It is not constricting, contracting. This thing is expanding still, Virgo. But as that process is happening, you are really here. Nine of Pentacles, which is finding your self-worth, your self-value, and taking the Queen of Wands, spiritual growth, healing, you know, the fire that you've gone through, internment, it seems to be the word that is ringing for me. And making and building a life out of it, and building strength out of it, and building a platform out of it, and building things of worth and value, establishing yourself through this. This is still happening for you, and it's what you're doing, because you've got what you've got a lot of queens. You've got now the Queen of Swords as a clarifier here. And this is cutting away any false versions of yourself. You see how she's holding a mask down there at the bottom? This is removing all the masks and stepping into your authenticity. And this Queen of Wands has gone through the fire that has burnt away anything that is not her. And so you're learning right now to step up in the world as you truly are. And that's what's necessary. That's what's required of you right now. So what's the spiritual lesson? That's what's happening. What is being refined in you spiritually this month? Kind of love your message, to be honest. Seven of Pentacles in reverse with Ten of Wands in reverse. This is hard work and effort that's becoming burdensome. Now, you are such a diligent sign. You work really hard, Virgo. You put your all into something, and if there's anything else that you need to be doing, you want to find out what that thing is and give to it. I'll show you the cards upright. This is your diligence. This is your attention to detail. This is how you methodically work at things. This is your endurance and your long suffering, your ability to keep going in a situation that is difficult. You have those skills, Virgo, and this is how you've been approaching things. But you have two more cards as your spiritual lesson. Remember, those energies were in reverse. Upright is the Seven of Swords with the Temperance in reverse. And the message that I'm getting from these cards was that, Virgo, it isn't really a time for you to work any harder at this situation. And this is what you're finding hard, because you are the sign that will seek answers. You want to understand, you want knowledge. And if something's not working, your first thought is, well, what do I do differently? What am I not doing? How do I get it done? And this can become a very painful thing for you internally, where you're like, do I need to work harder, faster, smarter? Like, tell me. And your approach to spirit will like, tell me what I need to do so I can get it done, so I can have the thing I want. And spirit's actually like, there's no more effort from you here. Like, nothing is the answer. And that's not something that you process well mentally, because the real answer here is that you have to find some alchemy of balance, harmony. Temperance card here in reverse is what you're struggling with, because what it is saying is, what I'm feeling from this card is that you've done your part. Now take it as it resonates. Obviously, I'm putting this out there. If you really know you haven't, then don't believe you have just because I've said it. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm reading the cards. You have to see if this tunes in with you. But I feel for most of you, the message here is that you have been doing the healing, the learning, and the growing and applying yourself. And then the other side of the cup is the rest and the receiving and the allowing. And this is the bit you don't want to do, because you want to maintain control and you want to continue to push something to happen on your time frame. And the Seven of Swords here is saying, this is an act of avoidance. This is an act of avoidance of the internal harmony and the completion of the inner work that needs to be done, which is yin-yang. Remember, Virgo, you've been functioning, therefore, in your yang masculine energy, putting things out there, you know, doing your work, showing up, living your truths, persevering, believing in your intuition. You've been doing all of that, Virgo. And now it's time for the feminine energy, which is like allowing, receiving, letting the things be, letting what's happening in the dark develop. There's no more pushing for you to do. And this is what Spirit's saying. Stop running away from this side of the spectrum, because as I see it in the reading, this person is running wrong side. No, right side. Wrong side. They're running from this work of inner balance and harmony into more effort. It's a different kind of work, but it's the kind of work that you are more comfortable with, being an earth sign. You want to work on the external things, you want to see it, but Spirit's like, the only effort you need to do right now is to release and allow. And that's your lesson this month. So how can you take action on that? What's your advice? Emperor in reverse, first card. Relinquish control, my loves. You can't force your vision into the world right now. You can't. Relinquish your control. Relinquish your need to see and know and plan and understand and analyze. You can't. This part of the process is down to Spirit. Like, you just have to release it. Three of Cups. We know you can't release it and be idle. You can't. You can't just be like, okay, it's not happening right now. You can't be like the Chariots in reverse while deeply desiring this connection and just chill out. You can't. Spirit knows that about you. So you've got Three of Cups, which is focus on where the joy is right now. Focus on where the connections are. Enjoy yourself. See what's beautiful in your life. Like right now, I mean, for me, this is gorgeous. Like, sorry, I wanted to see what was underneath my leaf. But right now, like, there's so much beauty, even in the spectrum of this video. There's so much joy. For me, you guys know I've been bouncing around, I've been moving a lot, you know, I've been healing this wound of like insecurity, instability, abandonment, and I'm settled. That's why all my plants are back, you know. I'm settled, and this is something to be joyful about. And it's saying like, don't spend so much time thinking about what you don't have. And I know that's hard. I know that's hard because you're fussing at it and you're like, when is it happening? And Spirit's like, look, please just chill out and enjoy yourself. Look, just enjoy yourself. That's it. You don't get that message a lot, Virgo. You don't. So Spirit's literally like, go have some fun. Like, out of the kitchen. You know, I'm cooking. I'll call you when dinner's ready. Go play. That's the energy Spirit's giving you. Ace of Pentacles. There are new beginnings. They're just not ready. They're still being worked out. You're impatient right now. I get it. Me too. Okay? You really want this thing to be happening yesterday. And yet Spirit's like, it's just not ready. Okay? Now, on the other side of these cards, which is like relinquish control, have some fun, a new beginning is coming, but it is not now. It is postponed, delayed, still in the works, whatever. You know, I want to just pause on that and say that, you know, this happens to me, like intuitively, you can really feel like something is happening and be ready for something and be tuned into a thing and be preparing for it, and it doesn't happen. And that can be quite a knock to your spirit, and it can really make you question yourself intuitively. And I've really been speaking to Spirit about this, and the message that I'm getting is not that you were wrong intuitively or any of that stuff, but it's that time is not static, it's not linear, and I always say this when I read for clients one-to-one. Your past, present, and future is happening at once. Time is not linear, and every choice that you're making is having that kind of ripple effect on everything, past, present, future, everything. Every second, every decision you make, your future is recalculated, your path is recalculated. And then I want you to know, because this is particularly, I do believe this is about love and connection, so it's not just you, it's also another person. And so what's happening is that you were on a particular timeline, as in this was meant to happen, or you were on a path that looks like A, B, C, D. And either you made a choice, and it's nothing to do with being a wrong choice, right? But you've made a choice decision, something that you're doing and bringing into your reality, or this other person has, that has meant that the path to that is no longer on the table. And so there is a recalibration, and it means that the timeline can shift. Now this could shift fast or slow, it doesn't matter. Like, forget the time element of it, it's more the path to it that is different. Now, you're never being robbed of anything. What I can say is, like, over the last few months, well, I've been going on a journey that I was not very willing to go on, and felt very persecuted by Spirit, particularly being, you know, without a steady, safe home. I gained so much through the pain of that, because every time I was in these really uncomfortable wounding, I was crying, trauma was coming up, it was difficult, but I gained so much healing, love, connection in ways that I would have never even conceived of through this alternative path that I didn't want to take. And to never believe that even if a timeline shifts, even if you are on a certain trajectory and then Spirit's like, no, the other way, don't believe you're being robbed of anything. Do you know what I mean? You'll always be given to. The universe is so infinitely wise, and I have experienced this in my life. Like, I have genuinely been told by Spirit, do X, Y, Z thing, this thing is gonna be the outcome of it. And then I feel energetically and get a new message like, oh no, we're not doing that with you anymore, this thing. And I'm like, what? Do you know what I mean? And it's because I was just very fixed, very black and white. My concept was like, you tell me to do this thing, I'm doing it, and I want this thing. And I'm learning that there was so much more fluidity in the ways that Spirit, the universe, your ancestors, the spirit guides work with you. Like, it isn't just like, it isn't so rigid, and that you need to be open to the ways that your life is unfolding, even when you feel like the thing you're desiring is being delayed. Because I want you to know, I guess what I'm also trying to get at, sometimes it is actually, it's not just purely that you got the message wrong or there was always some other timeline. Sometimes there is a delay. Like, sometimes things are held up. And there are all sorts of reasons for that are actually beyond your control or understanding right now. And that's the other thing. You have to relinquish the need to understand everything. You can't. And that is Virgo's approach, particularly to spirituality. Like, you're good as long as you get it. If you don't get it, you're not good anymore. And there is a need to increase your faith to fill in the gaps of things you don't understand. Like, I don't get it, I don't know. And yet you have to trust. And this is interesting to me because it really comes from a more Christian spiritual perspective that I kind of grew up in. You know, as a questioning intellectual person, I like that the spiritual path that I'm on now allows me to question and ask and engage my mind. But there is still a limitation on that. And there are still things that spirit's like, I cannot, will not, should not explain this to you right now. Like, you need to just listen, you know? And we do need to humble ourselves and surrender at times when we don't have all the answers and purely trust in the unknown of a thing. That still applies. So whilst you've got this Ace of Pentacles, a thing that has not come into fruition yet, a delay, something that even may feel like a denial, your next card, oh, my septum ring is a little itchy. Your next card is Knight of Swords. And the way I'm looking at it in the reading is that he is, or she, or this energy is charging in quickly towards this new beginning. So what it's saying to me is that the energy is shifting and changing. There is particularly a truth to be spoken. It feels like a truth that cannot be kept much longer, you know? It's that kind of like someone that's been sitting on something for so long that they just have to say it now. Like, they just have to get this thing out. And it is a communication, it's an energy, it's a swift change to the status quo that is on the cards, literally on the cards. And after this is the Fool card, the new beginning, and the Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment, satisfaction, contentment, connection here on a routine day-to-day level. And this is what this energy is bringing in. This is what this communication is bringing in for you. And so it really is like there's nothing more for you to do on your side but chill, continue to develop yourself, your self-esteem, your self-worth, your work, enjoy yourself. Like, you've honestly got to get on with things where you are and trust in the timing of your life, including the delays. Like, just trust that nothing that's for you will escape you. I pulled clarifiers, right, on this energy coming in, and the Hanged Man card is here. A loop, a cycle, a spiritual lesson, a test, something that must now come into completion, be broken, be finished. This would be karma. And it's saying that part of the delay in communication, in resolution, is karma here. And it means that, you know, the Hanged Man here is sacrifice. And you are having to sacrifice, but so is the other person. And it is a sacrifice that is about spiritual purification so that we can learn. And this will happen once this enlightenment happens, once this person has come to the understanding that they need to through their sacrifice, once you have come to the understanding that you need to. But I feel for you, Virgo, that you've mainly done it. You're now having to live the truths of self-worth, self-value, trust, patience, faith, temperance, all that other side of things. But you've had the spiritual lesson of kinds, and it's the other person, the person that you're wanting to connect with, that is still on the cross of suffering. I want to pull a clarifier here. The clarifier is the Lust card. This person feels a lot of passion, desire, connection to you. On a sexual level, definitely, but it's also more than that. It's the kind of like, it's a passion and an innate pull towards you that cannot be denied. It's just like, it rules them in some ways. Like, it's just cannot, it's so raw and untamed that no matter how much they suppress it and keep a lid on it, it can't be denied. And here's the result of that, the Swiftness card here. And this is a communication card, so it's a clarifier to say, an 8 card too being karma. It's saying that this person, the suffering that they're really feeling, to be honest, is an inability right now to outwardly communicate what's going on here. and they are on a kind of the cross of suffering over that, they will come through that lesson. They will heal whatever is a throat chakra issue, a heart chakra issue, is whatever solar plexus chakra issue, but they will heal those blockages and they will take action and move. You just don't know when. Because the other clarifier there is another 8. Okay, so karma really is at play here. Interference. This is Jupiter in Gemini. I want to put a clarifier on this. Seems like we're going deep this month, Virgo. Different kind of reading. Guess we need it. I need it. Okay. Okay. So the interference card, being an 8 card here, which is also speaking to some karma, is this person is also working on self-worth, self-value. They're also finding their level of self-esteem and investment in self. They're still working on this. They're still healing, you know, they're still taking some time away. Remember this, well, this is an earth sign in general, right? So this is, I'm not saying the person is an earth sign, I'm saying this is earth sign energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo, but very often Virgo for me. And I feel like this is the inner work that the Hermit is doing, which is finding self-worth and self-value, investing in self-healing, taking some time out. 7 of Swords, 6 of Swords in reverse, which is, and I'm trying to understand really why they have been unable to move on, to leave difficult situations and situations that make them feel impoverished and strip them of their self-worth and self-value. That's what the interference is karmically with this kind of timeline that's happening right now, and it will need to be resolved. They need to do that, and you can't be involved in that process. They have to do that alone, you know. And there's disappointment card here, which is your energy. You're disappointed at the lack of fruition, but you can't have someone who's unready for you. You can't have someone who's unready for the connection and the spiritual work, and so you have to let this process happen, whilst knowing that your life is never on pause. It's not on pause, Virgo. It isn't on pause. There are things you want to do. There are experiences emotionally that you want to have, yes. But there are other things, other doors, other intentions, other purposes that are opening themselves up to you wide. Arms open wide, saying, come here. You know, there are friends, there's family, there's career situations that are fulfilling and full of joy for you. You need to give yourself to and allow yourself to have this kind of joy and happiness. Why also? Because you never want to be in a situation where somebody else is all of this for you, where all of this enjoyment, contentment, satisfaction, and pleasure is tied up in one experience of one other person. Is too much weight for them to carry. So you need to really allow the pleasure in your life to expand. Also, so that as you do come into connection with this person, and you will, as you come into connection with this person, you will have a life to share. You know, they will not feel the weight of having to support your life, because that's why they're struggling with this energy, because they've been impoverished by the weight of having to support other people and to make other people happy and putting other people before themselves. And they're learning now how to put themselves first, and therefore they cannot come, Virgo card, mirroring you in some ways, mirroring the self-work and the self-value, self-work that you're doing here. So they cannot come to you having finally got out of this energy and get straight back into it. So Virgo, I know you're disappointed. This is also Scorpio, Mars in Scorpio. 5 of Cups, 6 of Cups. You're disappointed because you want this, and it's okay. It's fine to want it. Don't deny that you want that thing, but also relinquish your need to have it in this moment and open yourself up to whatever else is beautiful in your life right now. I'm pausing really because I find it a little bit difficult in this kind of more general context, when you're putting out general messages onto YouTube, to talk to people about kind of divine love connections and someone coming back to them, because it can keep people kind of trapped in relationships or codependency, And people who have like abandonment issues can end up in like cycles of anxious attachment with someone who's like connecting to them but not adequately like giving love, not communicating, not expressing their love, not showing up able to participate in the connection. And I never want to give you counsel that keeps you in that loop of pain and disempowerment. And so it's really important as you listen to this message that there are those of you listening to this where Spirit literally is saying to you, babes, it's fine. Do you know what I mean? I know you want these things and it's in the works, and this person is the person for you. Or if you don't know this person, they're coming, and it will be fulfilling, and it will be a deep soul connection, and you will be able to build. But you cannot pause. You cannot put your life on ice for it. You really can't. And the truth is, there is like a certain level. Where's the temperance card? Because I need to show it to you because it's coming through. There's a certain level of spiritual maturity which is about holding both truths, right? Which is holding the truth that even if someone is your soulmate sent from heaven above, if they can't show up in your life right now and participate in that reality with you, you have to hold that reality and a separate one, which is that you have to move forward with your life. It is two things at once. You know, this is an androgynous figure. This is yin yang. This is male female energy, right? This is darkness and light. This is both things. And this is what you need to hold in yourself. Yes, this is a real connection. Yes, this soulmate is coming to me. This is real. I know it's not here. Do you know what I mean? And therefore, my life is requiring these things of me. And it isn't purely to sit in pain and to feel stuck and burdened, and to feel like you can't do anything because of this thing not being present in your reality right now. I never want to counsel anyone to do that. So I want you to take the message from this reading as an encouragement that things are unfolding in your highest good to give you the love and the partnership and the connection that you want, but also to relinquish your control and allow yourself to take pleasure in your life. Okay, Virgo? I love you dearly. If you need support, if you need to talk to me about this on a one-to-one basis, you know I'm here for you. NicoleBlack.com/services. I am migrating my website, so if it's down when you want to book it, then just come to my email me, leonanicole@gmail.com, and we'll set it up via email, okay? And I will see you next month. Love you so much, Virgo. Mwah, mwah, mwah.